The times where people ignore the red flags and say, let's just keep pushing, those are the times where you fail. The majority of things that we're buying are created by men.
They say Hollywood's a place of glitter and glamour, where careers are made overnight and destroyed just as quickly. Lately, it seems Blake Lively is teetering on the edge of that second fate. Once hailed as a beloved actress with the world at her feet, she's suddenly facing a wave of controversies that's too big to ignore. From a new movie that's getting slammed by critics and social media alike, to rumored behind-the-scenes feuds and leaked documents that have everyone talking, the question on everyone's mind is, has Blake Lively's perfect image finally cracked beyond repair? Today, we're diving into the tangled web of backlash, rumored lawsuits, crashed business deals, and shaky relationships that might leave one of Hollywood's once golden stars out in the cold.
Help create those opportunities, and I think that that's really important. That it's not always like women for women. It's everyone for everyone. You know, for me, it's most important.
By the end, you'll see just how deep the cracks go, and why some say she may not be able to claw her way back this time. You might think you know the story of Blake Lively, but trust me, what's beneath the surface is far more intriguing. But if you think a few online trolls are the root of this storm, wait until you hear what's really going on in the background. Blake's upcoming film, Another Simple Favor, was supposed to be a triumphant follow-up to the first Simple Favor hit. Instead, the trailer dropped like a lead balloon, pulling in a tidal wave of negativity right out of the gate. Online platforms tallied up the dislikes and scathing comments faster than you'd expect for a Hollywood star of Blake's caliber. Rumor has it that things got so heated, certain sites disabled their comment sections entirely, hoping to tamp down the swelling anger. Some viewers claimed the trailer was tired or formulaic, while others went further, suggesting it was overshadowed by personal drama swirling around the cast. People who'd never had a problem with Blake's performances before suddenly found reasons to pile on. Critics even drew parallels between this backlash and previous fiascos in Hollywood, calling it a sure sign that the movie itself might be destined for a rough release.
You always learn more from your failures than you do your successes. I love creating, and I think that as women, you're not often given authorship.
With all this negativity boiling to the surface, you have to wonder if there's more fueling these bitter reactions than just a 2-minute preview. But the frenzy didn't stop at a lukewarm trailer reception. Whispers of a legal mess soon lit the fuse for a much bigger explosion. It's no secret that lawsuits in Hollywood go together like cameras and red carpets, but Blake's rumored entanglement with Justin Baldoni took everyone by surprise. According to the chatter online, Baldoni's team allegedly released a mountain of texts and emails, 168 pages worth, that paint a less than flattering picture of how Blake conducts business. People started scouring those documents, combing for any sign of a smoking gun, and many declared they found plenty. Some high-profile media figures got wind of these revelations and jumped in, fueling the controversy and dissecting every detail. Suddenly, the conversation was no longer about a subpar trailer or a rumored feud, but about possible shady maneuvers behind closed doors. Whether these claims are fully accurate or not is still up for debate, yet the damage was already done. Blake's public image had been pristine for so long that the merest hint of dishonesty or manipulation turned a wave of fans against her almost overnight. But wait, this entire legal saga isn't even the biggest bombshell. Word on the street says there's an A-list co-star who wants nothing to do with her. Before A Simple Favor ever hit theaters, everyone thought Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick were a match made in cinematic heaven. But as soon as press events kicked off, rumors of frosty chemistry began circulating. The tension seemed obvious to anyone watching their interviews. Awkward glances, clipped replies, and an energy so thick you could feel it through the screen. Even fans who were excited to see them together on camera started questioning whether the two could make it through another movie without letting personal drama seep into the storyline. Now, with Another Simple Favor, the alleged resentment only seems to have ballooned.
Yet, women represent 85% of people making purchases in homes across all categories. Yet, the majority of things that we're buying are created.
Some insiders claim Anna tried to back away from the project entirely, fed up with what she saw as unprofessional behavior or controlling tendencies behind the scenes. Others say a higher up in the production stepped in and smoothed things over just enough to get filming started. Either way, the constant whispers are overshadowing what should be a thrilling reunion, leaving fans to wonder if any real camaraderie is left between the two stars. And if you thought clashing with a co-star was bad, just wait until you see what's happening to Blake's other big ventures. A few years back, Blake set her sights on expanding beyond film. She introduced the world to a non-alcoholic drink brand called Betty Buzz. Initially, the rollout was impressive. Eye-catching ads, big-name store placements, and a marketing push that made it feel like the next must-have beverage. But the shine wore off fast. Shoppers who grabbed it out of curiosity often never came back for a second purchase, complaining that it was overhyped or didn't live up to the premium image Blake's team tried to build. As store orders dwindled, so did the once ambitious vision of a global lifestyle empire. The same goes for her other ventures, fashion or lifestyle concepts that came and went with hardly any traction. Some fans argue that there's nothing wrong with branching out, but negative publicity is like poison for emerging brands. Once those leaked documents, rumored legal issues, and speculation about on-set drama started swirling, any momentum behind Blake's business deals took a nosedive. Investors who once championed her pivot to entrepreneurship began raising eyebrows. And in a world where public perception can make or break a deal, that collective doubt might be enough to send every venture into freefall. But it's not just businesses and fans jumping ship. Hollywood itself seems to be slowly slamming the door shut on her. Blake was once the darling of red carpets, parties, and award shows, championed by fashion designers, directors, and co-stars alike. Lately, though, the steady stream of leading roles has slowed to a trickle. Insiders suggest her name no longer appears at the top of studio wish lists, especially when producers sense there might be drama attached.
By men, and that goes into storytelling, that goes into filmmaking, that goes into everything. So I think that it's, and I like a lot of stories told by men and products made by men.
The truth is, Tinseltown is painfully pragmatic. If an actor is seen as too risky or divisive, casting directors often move on to someone else. That could explain why we haven't seen Blake front and center in quite a while. Equally telling is the lack of A-list pals rushing to her defense. Hollywood is built on social connections, and in better times, Blake had no shortage of high-profile friends. Yet, the hush from people she once seemed close to is deafening. Whether they're cutting ties for professional reasons or simply don't want to get tangled in the negativity is unclear. Whatever the reason, every day that passes without any show of support amplifies the idea that Blake is becoming a persona non grata. When your phone stops ringing with project offers and your allies no longer stand by you, it may only be a matter of time before you're quietly pushed out altogether. Still, there's one more piece to this puzzle: her marriage to Ryan Reynolds, who might be taking more of a hit than you'd expect. Ryan Reynolds is beloved by audiences for his wit, charm, and knack for turning almost any film into a box office success. He radiates the kind of easygoing vibe that wins him fans across the board. But in Hollywood, controversies don't always stay in neat boxes. And if his partner is mired in a constant swirl of negative headlines, it's bound to reflect on him eventually. Although he's tried to stay out of Blake's rumored legal troubles and feuds, complete silence can sometimes speak louder than a press release. People are starting to question whether the drama might rub off on Ryan's projects.
But it's just not equitable, but it's also not logical. It's not just incumbent upon women to pave that path for other women, but it's incumbent upon men to.
Studios are notoriously cautious when it comes to protecting their investments. If the negative press around Blake keeps escalating, the industry might decide it's safer to keep Ryan in a lane untouched by his wife's problems, or distance themselves entirely if things get worse. Of course, Ryan is known for skillfully navigating tricky PR waters, but even the savviest actor can't fully dodge Hollywood's reflex to blacklist by association. Whether he'll ride this out unscathed or get quietly sidelined is the multi-million-dollar question. But can Blake salvage her reputation before it impacts Ryan too? And if not, is cancellation inevitable? Let's see how fragile her status really is.
Important to take the time to make sure it's the best it can possibly be, because it doesn't matter. I mean, I acknowledge I have a massive unfair advantage by,
Cancellation is a loaded term, but in an era dominated by social media storms and 24/7's news cycles, it often takes just one tipping point for an entire career to unravel. Blake Lively's tipping points seem to be stacking up at an alarming rate. The controversies are no longer isolated to one rumor or one film. They cross legal lines, personal feuds, and now business implosions that threaten her credibility on multiple fronts. Even more damaging is the perception that she might be covering up or spinning the story behind behind the scenes, as evidenced by that ex-CIA PR hire, a move many find unsettling, if not downright strange. Some stars bounce back with surprising ease, leveraging apologies, rebranding, or simply laying low until the storm passes. Yet Hollywood has a special knack for quietly edging out individuals who become more trouble than they're worth.
Having the entertainment industry as sort of this this microphone or this boost that I get to, sort of help promote my businesses with.
If box office profits dip and the public's trust sours, studios and advertisers see an easy solution: cut the problem loose. Blake's fans might still rally behind her, but even diehard supporters can only do so much if the entire industry decides her reputation is too tarnished for mainstream appeal. The final question: is there a last-minute twist that could save her, or have we already seen the start of Hollywood's quiet freeze-out? Let's wrap it all up. So where does all of this leave Blake Lively? The actress once praised for her grace on and off the screen. Her upcoming film might still manage a respectable showing at the box office, but the undercurrent of bad press is far from subsiding. The rumored Baldoni lawsuit remains a looming shadow. The supposed Anna Kendrick feud isn't doing her any favors, and her business ambitions seem to be losing steam. Add a distinct lack of public support from the Hollywood elites who used to champion her, and you have a recipe for a spectacular fall from grace. Yet Hollywood is also a place of reinventions and second acts. Stars have come back from worse, emerging with renewed fan devotion and bigger projects than ever before. The real question is whether Blake can navigate this minefield without taking down everyone close to her, or turning the public's skepticism into outright rejection. With so many controversies erupting at once, she's juggling way more than a typical scandal or random rumor. Whether she's truly guilty of any wrongdoing or just trapped in a whirlpool of gossip remains to be seen, but one thing's for sure: the curtain's lifting on her gilded image, and not everyone's liking what they see. Do you think Blake can find a way to silence the critics? Or is this the final act of her Hollywood story? Keep your eyes peeled, because if there's one thing we've learned, it's that in this town, things can change faster than you can say canceled.